Little Fox.
Thumbelina, Chapter 5, Up and Away. Thumbelina was dizzy. She was spinning around and around. The world was upside down. Pete was gone. Thumbelina screamed in surprise.
Ah!
A big brown bug named Buzz had grabbed her.
Zzz, I can't believe my luck,
said Buzz.
I was just on my way home. My sisters worry when I come home late.
2 of his 6 legs were around Thumbelina's waist.
Oh no,
whispered Thumbelina.
Wow, this thing is so pretty,
said Buzz.
I'll bet that bird was going to eat it. Birds are nasty.
He sure does talk a lot,
Thumbelina said quietly to herself. Finally, Buzz landed on a branch high in a tree.
I'm hungry,
said Buzz, staring at Thumbelina with his big black eyes.
Let's see what I can find to eat.
Buzz's wings popped out. Then he buzzed away noisily.
Here's my chance to escape,
Thumbelina said. She looked down. It was too far to jump. Suddenly, she heard loud buzzing noises. Thumbelina covered her ears. 2 big bugs landed on the branch. They looked just like Buzz.
Where's Buzz?
asked one. Who cares? said the other. What's that thing doing in our tree? They moved closer to Thumbelina and stared. Just then, Buzz came back. He was chewing on an oak leaf.
Bazilla! Bazona! I'm back!
said Buzz.
Where have you been?
asked Bazona. Did you bring us any dinner? asked Bazilla.
And what is this?
They asked together. They pointed at Thumbelina.
Isn't it pretty?
Buzz said proudly.
I found it.
Bazilla and Bazona stared at Thumbelina.
It doesn't have wings.
Sniffed Bazona.
How can it fly?
It doesn't have big eyes, frowned Bazilla. How can it see well? Suddenly unsure, Buzz looked at Thumbelina again.
But it's pretty,
he said. His sisters laughed.
It has a tiny head,
said one. And it only has 2 legs, said the other.
Yes, I see what you mean,
said Buzz, nodding.
Buzz, forget about that thing,
said Bazona.
You can't keep it.
Let's go and get something to eat, said Bazilla. I'm hungry. Buzz's sisters flew off.
Excuse me.
Thumbelina cleared her throat and spoke.
It can talk?
cried Buzz, surprised. Thumbelina sighed loudly.
Yes, I can. And you've been very rude. You can't keep me, you know.
I know. Goodbye then.
Said Buzz as he started to fly off.
Wait!
Cried Thumbelina.
You can't just leave me here.
Buzz shrugged and flew Thumbelina to the ground. He put her on a daisy. Then he buzzed away. Thumbelina was all alone. Thumbelina, Chapter 6, All Alone. Thumbelina felt like crying. She was scared, hungry, and lonely.
I will not cry.
She said aloud.
At least I am free. No one is trying to catch me.
She felt better. Thumbelina wandered for many days. It was not easy to survive in the forest. Thumbelina used a leaf as an umbrella when it rained. At night, she slept on soft moss in a tree root. Every morning, Thumbelina washed her face with dew from the grass. Then she'd climb a flower and eat a petal or two.
I'm tired of eating flowers every day,
she said. She was nibbling on a lily.
Tired of flowers?
Said a red bug with black dots.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Said Thumbelina.
I didn't see you. I'll go to another flower.
I'm a ladybug. I don't eat flowers,
said the bug.
I eat tiny insects.
Don't eat me. I'm not an insect. I'm Thumbelina.
And my name is Ladybird.
Laughed the ladybug.
Would you like these insects? They're very good.
No, thank you.
Thumbelina said quickly.
How about some blueberries?
Said Ladybird, smiling.
I can show you where they grow. Follow me.
Thumbelina clapped her hands and said,
That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Suddenly, the ladybug opened her wings to fly. The lily started to move back and forth. Thumbelina lost her balance and fell off the flower.
Hey!
She landed on a sandhill and slid down a dark tunnel.
Enemy alert!
Someone shouted. Thumbelina was inside an anthill. Many ants were lined up like soldiers. A big ant pointed at her.
Get out, stranger!
What happened was...
Thumbelina stammered.
We must protect our queen! Forward, march!
The ant shouted.
Please, it's all a mistake. I'll get out.
Thumbelina cried. She tried to climb back up the tunnel.
This sand is so slippery.
She said, frustrated.
Capture the enemy!
Shouted the ants. Finally, Thumbelina climbed up and out. She glanced behind her. It looked like a black wave was coming toward her.
What am I going to do?
She cried.
Keep marching!
Shouted the big ant to the others. Thumbelina turned and ran as fast as she could.
There are so many of them!
She screamed, afraid to look behind her again. Just then, Thumbelina saw a small hole in a tree. She ran inside and hid herself with a fallen leaf.
Maybe they won't find me here.
She gasped. The ants ran around the tree and kept going. Their voices faded.
Capture the enemy!
At last, Thumbelina could not hear them anymore. Thumbelina was safe for now. Thumbelina, Chapter 7, Finding New Friends. Summer passed quickly. The leaves started to fall from the trees. Thumbelina was tired, and her clothes were torn. Thumbelina noticed some nuts on the ground. She picked up a small one.
Hey, that's mine.
Yelled a squirrel.
I found it first.
She said stubbornly.
Okay, I guess you're getting ready for the winter too.
Replied the squirrel.
Winter?
Said Thumbelina.
What's that?
Surprised, the squirrel shook her tail.
Winter is when it gets cold, silly.
Said the squirrel.
Food is hard to find. You have to gather and store food. That's what I'm doing.
The squirrel grabbed another nut and quickly ran up a tree. The days did get colder, and food was hard to find. One day, hungry and tired, Thumbelina fell asleep. She had a dream she was in a warm bed. Beautiful voices were singing. Thumbelina woke up. She wasn't dreaming.
Where am I?
She asked, rubbing her eyes.
You're safe, dear.
Said a bird. Thumbelina sat up. She was inside a bird's nest.
We thought you needed help, so we brought you to our house.
Said the bird.
I'm Maggie.
I heard something lovely.
Thumbelina said, after introducing herself.
We were singing.
Said the other bird.
My name is Chris.
I haven't sung in a long time.
Said Thumbelina.
I used to sing when I was happy.
Well, not all songs are happy ones.
Said Maggie.
What do you mean?
Asked Thumbelina. Chris and Maggie looked at each other.
All songs are different.
Said Chris.
Listen to this one. Da 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 da.
His song was short and almost angry.
You sounded upset.
Said Thumbelina. Chris nodded.
That was an angry song.
Can you guess this one?
Asked Maggie. Her song was slow and quiet.
No, I can't.
Said Thumbelina.
What kind of song is that?
I sing that song when I need to solve a problem.
Said Maggie.
Can you teach me some songs?
Asked Thumbelina.
Of course.
Said Maggie. They taught Thumbelina many kinds of bird songs. Each song was special. But one kind of song was a secret language. These songs were talking songs, and Thumbelina learned these too. Thumbelina stayed with her friends Chris and Maggie. The birds brought her food and kept her warm. But soon, the birds had to leave,
Winter is almost here.
said Maggie.
It's time for us to fly south.
I wish I had wings.
Thumbelina said sadly.
Then I could fly away with you.
The birds put her on the ground and sang a song of goodbye.
Goodbye, Thumbelina.
They said,
You'll find your way home.
Goodbye, my friends.
she replied. Chris and Maggie flew off.
Little Fox.